How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about ChargePoint. We know already there's a lot of momentum going into infrastructure related plays, and of course, being in the EV sector, ChargePoint was able to see some sympathy and it has been making some strong moves. I will be talking about it inside of this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. Know those key levels in a bullish case scenario and as well as in a bearish case scenario so we are prepared. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We know the short interest does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis on ChargePoint. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $26.82, being up 4.44%. On the low, it tested $25.91, and then on the high, testing $27.37. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 12.683 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 11.459 million shares. So we ended up having above average volume on the day, and you could see there was a lot of buying. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see we had from the RSI down below, it was at 64.20. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here in our chart, we have strength above the 50-day. We also have strength above the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. So one thing we can clearly see, we could see the 21-day EMA crossing over our moving averages here, and ChargePoint is looking very bullish. Now, as far as having strength above the 200-day, I would love to see a continuation of this. So on the Friday, we actually ended up testing $25.91. So you'd want to see us hold up at least $25.67 for the rest of next week in order for us to continue this solid uptrend. Now, as far as resistance is concerned, we have it here right at $28.24. We were there back on November the 9th, not too long ago, just a few days ago. So if we're able to actually get past this $28 level, then easily I'm going to be looking forward to seeing a strong move to around $29.40. And then of course we'll have this psychological area right here at $30. I could see a lot of traders would be selling at this particular price, and also on top of that, anyone who was doing any swings. And this is why it's very important for us to break through this $30 level. We have to make sure we have strong volume coming in, which that could send us to around $31. And as far as for the bearish case scenario, if we do decide to break through the 200-day, then I'm going to be looking for ChargePoint to actually hold up the $25 level. If it can't do this, and if it wants to pull back even more, then of course I want to see strength at that 21-day EMA right around $24. But for the most part, ChargePoint overall is on a strong uptrend, and like I said, I would not be shocked if we see a strong move trying to get to that $30 range. Now we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for ChargePoint. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here for November the 12th, there were a lot of filings. Like, look at that. But you know what? I got you guys back. I'm going to go over them. So as far as for new positions, we have Morova that purchased 20,637 shares, closed position from Water Island. We also have Thomas J. Hersfield Advisors that purchased 529 39 shares. Come on, they could buy some more. We also have Centaurus Financial Inc. that purchased 6,171. We have 3 closed positions here. And then we see Quadrant Capital that purchased 38 shares, and Birkin KDV Wealth Management that purchased 39 shares. Like, come on. And then we have Advisors Asset Management that actually purchased 1,794 shares. We have Cardasco Financial Network with 700. We have 2 institutions close out their positions. We also have Schroeder Investment Management Group that purchased 1,149 shares. We also have Hightower Advisors LLC with a put position, and we also have Jump Financial LLC that purchased 13,231 shares. We have 2 closed positions over here, and we have Cranbrook Wealth Management purchased 2,000 shares. We also have Bank Julius Baer & Co. Zurich that purchased 1,000 shares. We have 3 more closed positions, another closed position from Renaissance. And then when we take a look going further back, we could see a position from the Bersermer Group, small position 275. Bell Investment Advisors going with 36. We have Koal Investment Group LLC purchasing just over 1,400 shares. And we also have Vident Investment Advisories LLC that purchased just under 18,000 shares. And we have Q Research and Technologies Limited that purchased just under 50,000 shares. We also have Peak 6 Investment LLC that purchased just under 2,000 shares. We also have a closed position right over here. And as we just go down even further, that's it for November the 12th. Wow, I must say that was a good amount, but we see institutions loaded up, but we did see a good amount of closed positions, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 56.10%, and then we have for the dark pool short volume being 3.7 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 3 million, updated 29 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.44%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for last week Thursday it was at 47.68, and then for Friday that just passed it's at 56.10. So what this tells us right away, there's a lot of negative market sentiment around ChargePoint stock, and this also does tell us with increased buying volume we could see strong moves to the upside due to the fact ChargePoint does have short squeeze potential. So this is one thing you want to be aware of and contribute to the overall volatility. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for ChargePoint. So we could see here on the inflow, it was 66.73, and then on the outflow, it was 60.81. So it ended up being an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large, 42.62 on the medium, and then on the small we had 24.11. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 0 on the large, on the medium we had 40.60, and then on the small we had 20.21. When taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for November the 12th we ended up having 0, but we had strong outflows on November the 11th and as well as for November the 9th. Now, when we take a look at the breakdown even further, you can see as far as on the retail side, which is a small, we had a lot more buying than we had selling. And then on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, you can see it was at 3.93%. So this is not too bad whatsoever, because we know there are many people who are holding on to their shares of ChargePoint. Plus, we do have a lot of traders that are coming in and out of the play due to the momentum that we're seeing coming through EV plays in the past weeks. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for ChargePoint, it's definitely going to be interesting for the coming week. We've seen a lot of strength in infrastructure related plays, especially in the EV sector. So what I want to know, we have Joe Biden who's going to be signing off on the bill on Monday. So what is it going to be? Is it going to be buy the rumor or sell the news, or are these stocks going to continue to run up? Of course, as traders and as well as investors, I know we're all looking forward to see what happens. As far as ChargePoint's chart is concerned, it has been looking really good, and it's part of the reasons why I feel it is key that it holds up the $25 level. Another thing that I want to go over, when we went on Fintel taking a look at the short interest information, it is very high. So there's a lot of negative market sentiment around this stock, and this is why there's going to be a continuation of more volatility, and I want to make sure you're prepared for that. And if you are looking to buy into ChargePoint for the long term, take advantage of those dips when they do happen, but make sure you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence. EV plays overall, I know I keep saying this, they have ran up a lot. And a lot of people are saying, well, you know what, they're going to continue to go up. If they continue to go up, great. But if they do pull back, like I said, give it some strong consideration, because I feel as far as EVs are concerned, it's the future. If you're not in it, or if you don't have any exposure whatsoever, you are missing out. And I also got the question like, Dre, do you believe that ChargePoint is going to be going to $30 this week? Here's my point on this. If it ends up being bullish and we see a continuation of big money flowing into the infrastructure related plays, then most definitely ChargePoint can get to $30 for the coming week. If it decides to continue to consolidate and then do that the week after, that's also a possibility. We also have to take into consideration they do have earnings that is coming up. Like I said, keep an eye on the play, see how it moves, come up with a strategy, and then you go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.